Hey, what's up YouTube? Here is David or DB. Welcome back again to yet another video of I've Watched. So today I'm going to be doing I've Watched SuperCrooks. So SuperCrooks is a Netflix animation series about a guy who essentially finally gains superpower in a super powered society where it's superheroes and supervillains, and he decides after one mess up, a big mess up, that he's just gonna be a supervillain. Anyhow, like always, heavy spoilers. You don't want spoilers? Kindly get out right now. Anyhow, moving on. This is one of the best series I think I've watched ever, in my opinion. This is the type of show that I enjoy. This type of art style I enjoy. It really reminds me of an older art style, a la like Cowboy Bebop or Great Teacher Onizuka. Or Gintama if you even wish. The vibe, the aesthetic, that is something I love. I love that old vibe and aesthetic. That not too much detail, very laid back, very focused on the atmosphere and what's happening on the screen, rather than too much action, too much everything over the top. Just plain and simple. Smooth animation, everything has a vibe, everything has an atmosphere. Keyword here, a vibe. So, the story, first episode, my guy gets his powers, he murders a shit ton of people and decides, yeah, fuck it, I'm a villain. Great opening in my opinion. In my opinion, very strong opening. I did not expect that to be the case at all. I didn't expect them to go straight away to the extreme. Brilliant though. Brilliant. He didn't have a fucking saddish backstory. Oh, I don't know, this happened, blah blah. He just the heroing wasn't for him. He messed up. Fuck it, villain. He needs money. Cool. Yeah. As simple as that. Simply. What else do I really like about the show? The whole crew as a unit, I really like their chemistry. But as separate characters, I really dislike them. The guy who goes invisible, I think he is, as a character, is boring. Just stereotypical cocky, arrogant character with an overpowered superpower, being there just for the sake of being there and just to kind of antagonize the group in a way. The two undead guys were really funny. I have to give them that much. But their personalities were a little bit too over the top for me. Just slightly, a little bit too over the top. A funny plot twist with the bigger guy, that he actually was like a super genius, smart guy who actually invented the time machine at the very end, which was a funny but cool plot twist as well. Weatherman, boring. In my opinion, just he was a boring character. There was no point for him. Casey's, I believe her name, the blonde girl, probably the most interesting character apart from Heatwave in the group, I think. She was a very particular character. She not that she knows exactly what she wants, but she knows that she doesn't want to risk what she has if there's not a high reward for it. Oh, it's coming back to it. Their whole relationship between the fucking electric guy and Casey absolutely tilted me. I gotta say that their whole relationship, it's designed to annoy you because he is constantly messing up, and it's not like oh, okay, you messed up, we get it, there was a reason. He is him, and you cannot change him, and he will do whatever he wants, even though it severely fucks up their relationship in the early stages. For example, on their wedding day, instead of being together, celebrating it, fuck it, he went with the idiots to rob a bank and get caught and not make it for his wedding day. It's a good example though of, no matter how badly you fuck up, if you truly love someone, give them as many chances as they need. But in my opinion, that was beyond the dumbest way they could have done it. It was funny, I think. For the purpose of the comedy of it, it was funny. Apart from that, from a writer's point of view, it seriously annoyed me. The superheroes inside the show, I like the fact they obviously had their generic superheroes, but none of the superheroes were apart from like that Superman ripoff. None of them were like too generic, if you know what I mean. I think they were interesting. I think they were cool. Gladiator was definitely a very cool character because he was actually very brutal for a superhero. He was something a la Superman mixed with Captain America. But he was a lot more brutal, a lot more violent, a lot more not selfish, but not even stoic. But like, he was just a Chad. That scene of him just getting up on the plane, and he's like, "This is my seat," and just he literally his seat is on top of the plane, so he's just flying with them. The scene where he swims all the way to the island was also super Giga Chad, and he was such a show off and flexer with that. And them adding him to the crew at the very end was, I think, a great plot twist. There obviously it's not uncommon for villains and superheroes work together in fiction, as long as it benefits both parties or there's something higher at stake. But kind of introducing him out of nowhere was, no, well, not kind of out of nowhere, but introducing him into the mix, I think, was a really, really, really nice change of pace. And also, it made the fight at the end versus the guy starting with T, I forget his name already, a lot more interesting. Because if you don't remember, in the very last fight, they're getting their ass whooped. Gladiator's not helping them. He lets the guy like beat up the villains for a little bit, so he gets a little bit satisfaction. So like the villains also get a beating, not through him because he's not to beat them up because he's getting blackmailed, but he lets them get still beat up a little bit, and then he kicks in and then he starts getting his own set of justice, trying to redeem the name of the hero by exposing this fraud, this fake hero. I mean, he'd already been exposed, but like even more kind of like getting his hands on him basically. But yeah, that guy who was like a fake hero basically, I loved his character because he was beyond broken, but not just because he's broken. He's broken because of his randomness. Obviously, for the purpose of the show, they had every single ability that he needed, but it was an interesting ability to give a character that's busted, but it doesn't start off busted, if that makes sense. I think his personality was really cool. He was very witty, also very badass, very brutal, but still he couldn't match Casey at all. I think her name is Casey, or am I tripping? Characters, because that's actually yeah, Casey. Her name is Casey. So overall, definitely one of the best watches I had, one of the more smoother watches. It is a very quick watch, it is a very easy watch, it is a very smooth watch, and it's a very good paced anime. Heavily emphasis on the fact it's very, very goodly. It's very well paced, and the watch is very smooth. So if you're watching it, don't worry about anything. You're gonna get through the 12 episodes in no time. I guess this is it. I don't know. There's nothing more apart from the show for me to praising. It's easier to talk about shows that I slightly dislike or I slightly have some issues with, but this is easily one of my maybe top 20 animes of all time, if I'm being honest. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was your boy DB. Peace out. Goodbye.